Hello my friends, maybe my run for president might be a surprise for you. Well, it shouldn't. It's not a secret that I'm the most vocal contester of today's management and leadership of FIR. On the other hand, it's easy to stay aside and do criticism. Therefore, I decided to create an alternative. I told you before, I was born and raised in communism. It's easy for me to recognize one. And FIR is a communist entity almost since the beginning. It was always a unique candidate for presidency and usually one candidate for each council member position at every elections. That's why there is no challenge, no debate and no alternatives. Today I offer you one, because if we stay in the same paradigm of a unique candidate, the downhill path of last 6 years will continue undoubtedly because of bad management, lack of vision and objectives. Do we know where Racquetball will be in 5 years? Shouldn't we? Here is what I propose you as a program. Number 1, 70,000 euro FIR yearly budget by the end of 2024 and 150,000 budget by the end of 2025. The source, sponsors and EU projects. See, that's the beauty of a clear and concise objective. There is no need to explain them. And that's what's totally missing today in FIR. Number 2, tournament participation in 2024 at 2019 level and increase of 50% each year after until 2027. Number 3, set junior targets per countries using European Racquetball Union youth concept. At the moment, FIR has no program for juniors who are the future of our sport. Number 4, set up the Racquetball technical department in FIR. One of the powerful triggers of my candidature was the situation created by FIR board in opposition with Marcel Weigel, where he has asked to change the final and semi-final schedule for the World Championships for the comfort of the players. After I read the debate, it hit me. I realized that very few, if nobody, from the FIR Council ever did performance in sport. And this is an important reason why FIR is led in the way it is. I remember in 1996 at Badminton European Team Championships, Romania ended the game with Team Israel at 1 AM in the midnight. In a huge empty hall with only the team's member and almost all European Badminton Federation board present, cheering up us for the match until the end. Everybody was proud for that match because we respect the sport and we respect the competition. The Racquetball World Championships in Austria will be an event at a scale that never before. To have the pretension to modify the schedule of the tournament for the comfort of the player is quite hard to believe. Even in football, the most powerful sport on the planet, the schedule is decided by TV ratings. Why should be different in racquetball? And then is more to it. In the mentioned debate, one argument was that the late hour in the evening, players will be already gone and there will be no more crowd in the hall. With that, FIR official acknowledge the level of respect that we, the racquetball people, give to the biggest racquetball event ever and in racquetball in general. Because we want to sleep better, we want to eat proper and we want to book early flights to leave the event as quickly as possible. The question is, are those the landmarks that we want for our sport? Sad. The technical department should be formed with people that did performance in each of the 4 sports and who will set up best training practices and guidelines for tournaments development. Because FIR has to aim the highest possible level of performance. The fun, the good feeling, the comfort are club's job to develop, not FIR's. Number 5. Finding a technical partner as sponsor for Racathlon equipment from the big producers by the end of 2024. Number 6. Moving FIR to an EU country where we can find subsidies for an office and the general secretary's salary by the end of 2024. Switzerland has the advantage of light regulation for entities like FIR, but the disadvantage of keeping Racathlon outside European funding. And by European funding, I do not refer to EU project, but also to sponsors. Number 7. FIR to be partner in an EU project by the end of 2024. Number 8. 10% incentive for anyone who brings cash sponsorship for FIR. Number 9. Change the tournament software platform to another system that will cost at most 1,000 euro per year. Now we have 8,500 euro, the estimated budget for 2023 for tournament software. Yes, we will have trouble in keeping the ranking for a couple of years, but the difference in prices is far too big. Number 10. The 2,000 euro fee per month paid now to the president to be paid and split to people like Graham, King, Kirsten Captain and Amke Fischer, who are doing the most of the job for the World Tour. President will not be paid. Salaries will be tripled in 2024 and doubled again in 2025, so to come at least 6,000 per month. For other jobs also. Here is not included media and communication that will have a different budget. I agree with Duncan that for the job to be done, someone has to be paid. But today, money are orientated in the wrong way. We see results in the work of Graham, Kirsten, Amke and a few others. The result of President work I cannot see. I cannot find one metric that can show me an improvement of FIR existence, except some virtual social media awareness that has no correspondence in the real life. We pay the president with more than a third of FIR budget for what? For being tournament director for almost half of the World Tour calendar? Don't we have here an evident conflict of interest? And it's not the only one. Because we talk about money, I will show you what happened at the last AGM from this spring. We are presented some slides with figures. In the PowerPoint with the financial presentation for 2021 and 22 that we all have received, at slide number 4, the column Actuals 2021 has a total of 53,024, not 42,519 as presented. Then in the variance column, the total is very interesting, minus 3,069, not plus 7,436 as presented. So at slide number 6, we have the auditor's report that confirmed that bookkeeping is okay for 2021, and probably is. But what the auditors did not verify was the PowerPoint presentation. I don't know if this figure's difference is a mistake or is intentionally for us to have a false image of FIR financial situation, but what I know are two things. First one is that if we wouldn't run FIR like a family business, if the treasurer would have been an independent person from the president, this would never happen. Because it's not the auditor's job to review a presentation for AGM, but sure, it's the treasurer's job. And this is the second major conflict of interest of today's president. The other thing that, in my opinion, is worse than the first is that nobody cares. Because we are misled and nobody noticed. And we didn't notice because we don't care. Me included. I noticed only after I decided to candidate and look closely to that figures. Otherwise, could happen again in the future. That has to change, my friends, if we want to go anywhere. Number 11, finding a media and communication partner as sponsor by the end of 2024. Number 12, implementing new technology softwares developed by European Racquetball Union for racquetball, such as European Racquetball Union live stream system. Number 13, expanding racquetball outside Europe by finding continental vectors. The objective, 2 new countries per year from Americas and Asia, and 1 country per year from Africa starting from 2024. Number 14, recognition of racquetball that will be implicit with the growth of the sport. The objective, 50 countries to have racquetball recognized at national level by the end of 2027. Number 15, racquetball events in public spaces between 2 and 4 events per year in Europe, starting from 2024, like in malls and public crowded city spaces, including racquetball street concert. Number 16, partnership with several sport organizations beside IOC and GAES, as the World Games, Sport Recognized, and others. Last but not least, a FIR members' involvement system must be established. Because if you vote me, you will vote for yourself. Meaning, I will challenge each of you to be involved in FIR existence and activity, to contribute and to take responsibility over things. It is not about me as president or about the future council. My idea is not to allow you to delegate FIR activity to president and council and then not to care anymore as it is today. President and council will only lead and coordinate you as active members and contributors of FIR. If you vote me, consider that you vote for your active involvement. If you want comfort, then you know the alternative. We are living it for the last 6 years. This is my program, and these are the reasons you can vote for me. 2 main questions might arise from all this. First, okay, we like your program. How do we know that you can do it? The answer is very simple. You don't. What I can tell you is 45 years experience in sport performance at all possible levels. Badminton champion of Romania, president of Romanian Badminton Federation, founding member of Romanian Badminton Federation and Romanian Squash Federation, FIR Council member, vice president of European Racquetball Union, general secretary of Sport Recognized, my own sport club for the last 25 years. This is for the sport. Then, 32 years of business experience. Never been employed in this period except in my own companies. Now running a business of around 5 million euro per year with 60 employees. In my youth, I was mountain guide leading people and groups to summits. I'm a professional coach and trainer. I have a PhD in hydraulics. I developed a software application. I wrote a book. My general life experience proved that I have the ability to make things happen. But you don't need to take my word for granted. Before 2024, early in the year AGM, I will do an informal Zoom meeting with all of you in which I will ask you for confirmation voting. If I pass, I stay. If not, I will resign, so you will have the possibility at that AGM to choose another president. And as long as I will be president, the process will be repeated yearly before each annual AGM. Second question. What if COVID restriction will be implemented again? I don't know the answer to this. But what I know is that last year in 2021, I was the only one who came with a practical solution. When everybody was cancelling tournaments, I came with the concept of Blitz tournament. And not only I came with the concept, I implemented it. Romanian Racquetball Open was one of the few tournaments of last year, and it was decided, organized and implemented in 4 weeks and a half. For this type of tournament, it was a real success. So, solutions are always possible if we don't duck and if we are creative. Being born in communism, I grew learning to fight against systems. Sometimes the system is more powerful and fighting takes to no result. But I assure you that I'm willing to die trying. On the Facebook page that you will see on the screen, we can discuss about all this until election day. This is my alternative for you. Racquetball, be with us.